Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right. And to avoid lazy negativity, we decided to make this episode a drinking game. So anytime we say anything negative at all about this film, about each other, about how Dave is Jack's raging bile duct, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means we're taking a drink, and we hope you drink along with us.
So pour yourselves a glass as we discuss the movie that shows the other thing Jeff uses the music room for.
Yes, dude.
Cheers.
I meant Fight Club, not banging Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, come on. Yeah, of course.
We passed your free buzzer, Dave. Sorry. All right. That's right, people. We have a busy slate today. Our featured conversation is going to be about 1999's Fight Club, of course, hence the references there at the beginning. Why? Well, we've been doing the Random Year Generator series, and for some reason, it's been stuck in this 10-year window between 1994 and 2002, with a little shout-out to 1984 when we did Blood Simple. So we did Blood Simple, we've done Memento, we are doing Fight Club today, we did Punch Drunk Love recently, and there's something else. We just have been in this time period a lot, so we're going to give you the year in review, what was going on in 1999.
Leon. Did you say Leon?
Leon, that was in 1994. Leon the Professional, that's right. So 1999 was an amazing film year. So we like to set up the context, what was going on, what other films came out that year, a little bit of world events, try to keep it snappy, and then we're going to get to our featured conversation. We are a real drinking show, so we want to get the drinks flowing before we have our featured conversation. So therefore, if you get impatient or you're here and you see that we have other movies we're talking about and you just want to hear Fight Club or One Battle After Another or Frankenstein or my mystery movie, I haven't told them yet, that's going to be in the episode title, then go ahead and check the show notes and scoot ahead. We keep the show notes there so that you can just pick your poison if you only have a limited time. But we hope you stay with us and watch us get drunker and drunker while we talk about movies. And then at the end of the episode, we'll talk about what you've been watching. John saw Highest to Lowest. I saw Swiped, which is about the, this is not my mini review. I saw 3 new movies this week, guys. Are you so proud of me or what?
Yeah.
It's a movie about the co-founder of Tinder who left during a hostile work environment with a lawsuit against Tinder. And then she started Bumble. That's played by Lily James. It's on Hulu. So we're going to do those at the very end of the episode and what you've been watching. But we have 3 mini reviews and our featured conversation. So a lot to get to. John, you want to set up our sponsor introduction before we get cranking?
For sure. Yeah, we have a beer sponsor. His name is Carlos Barroso. Check the show notes for the handle. It's cbarroso.beer. That's the Instagram. You can go over there, check it out, see all those beer making shenanigans. Carlos, what's up? We also have a music artist in residence who provides the music and the tunes for this episode, the last episode, every single episode, the middle of the episodes, Dasein, Dasein. Check the show notes there for all the links, but they're available on all the usual music platforms. Go there, like and love Dasein's music. You're welcome. Some new stuff coming out real soon. All right.
Yeah.
I think if we ever get a website for this show, it should definitely have the .beer extension.
That beer's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We're a real drinking show. You can check the YouTube. We are a real drinking show. You can see us do it for real. Dave, it looks like John and I are going to be doing some talking about movies here for a second. Anything you want to say beforehand to get, anything you want to prep? Any jokes or anything for us today?
I didn't write any jokes. I'm having a very serious week.
Oh.
You're serious? Is everything okay?
You're
ready to talk about it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
my mother. No.
Hilarious.
John, should we get to it?
We should get to it. And I think the way we should just kick this off very gently is by, I'm going to gush for just a second here.
Uh-oh.
Warner Brothers, 8 for 8.
8 for 8, baby.
Holy crap, you guys. How do I turn that off?
So that would
get
it again.
No.
I hit it again. Okay. Yeah. So that'll kick off our One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson's film that just came out 2 weekends ago. So we're technically, finishing up the second weekend. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Jeff, I don't know if you have some numbers there in front of you, but I saw it in a packed large format theater in one of those. I saw it in our version of the Lincoln Center, so on the big 70 mil print. Yeah. Anyway, why don't you tell me what you thought first, and then I'll give you my very short, brief little thing as well, because I want Dave to go see this in the movie theater.
Ooh, fun.
So I don't want to spoil it too much.
I have the numbers about this. So it won the box office last week in its first week, this is not it. and it's currently at $101 million globally, $130 million budget. So it's still a little bit of work to do. And just like every other movie, there's like Smashing Machine, for instance, they wanted the big formats to get more money, of course. I also saw this on the 70 millimeter IMAX, and it looks like Taylor Swift also somehow convinced AMC by literally calling up directly. Like, she doesn't even have a team. She personally calls CEOs of AMC and Regal, whoever the fuck she wants, and says, get me this movie in theaters, but I need big formats. And so there was a little bit of big format sharing. So Taylor Swift's movie actually won the box office. But yeah, one battle after another, doing just well here after week 2. And it's going to keep going.
And it's his highest grossing movie ever.
Even more than There Will Be Blood. Yeah, that's right. And it'll run for a little
apparently everyone hates the new Taylor Swift album. So how does she make so much money? Yeah, it's all bots, dude. It's all these bots put out all this hate stuff about Taylor Swift, and everybody's like, jumping on board.
I will not win that battle.
It's all fake. It's all fake.
I have to say, I don't love it.
My guess, by the way, for Jeff's surprise third movie is the Taylor Swift movie. Don't tell me if that's it. Don't tell me if you went and saw it, but that's my guess.
I sang along to it too.
Tell me what you thought about One Battle After Another.
I think like every Paul movie, it's good, it's brilliant, it's special. It's always surprising. I saw the trailer. I didn't love the trailer. It was mostly Leo with the payphone, and then at the end, Viva la Revolution. And I was like, really, this is the Paul Thomas Anderson, Leonardo DiCaprio movie? It did not grip me. The trailer. This movie is so exciting. It's so visceral. It's so real. I think the big thing for me was there were times in the movie where I was like, what is happening? And I knew what was happening literally, but what was the plot? What's the form of this movie? Like a brilliant filmmaker can break all convention of form. Is it theme driven? Is it plot driven? And I started to kind of be like, what is going on? But I was with it the whole time because it was still moving chronologically. Some gaps here, there, of course. But like I guess I should have taken the title a little bit more seriously when it came to the form, because I feel like I need to rewatch it again and track it and trace it, because it's so gripping, especially 70 millimeter IMAX. And I was in the third fucking row because it was kind of last minute impulsive, and there was literally one seat. It was one seat, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go impulsively by myself. So I went, and there were a lot of close-ups of Leonardo DiCaprio and Regina Hall, and just a lot. And I mean, his face is fucking huge. And the 70 mil IMAX, especially the one in Lincoln Square, is a square. And I don't mean it's an old box like the old TVs. I mean, it's fucking tall. So we don't lose anything. We just gain height, and his face is in the middle. So his face is 60 feet fucking tall right in front of me. So anyway, dude, it was very visceral. It was very powerful.
When Interstellar came out, and I could only get a seat in the front row, I saw that in row A in that theater. Dude, I still can't turn my fucking head to the right after that. So
I think, and so like Spielberg also said he had to see it 3 times because he was like, the movie was crazy. It's insane. I feel like that's normal. Like, you're going to watch this movie one time and be like, I hope people love it. I also felt bad that right after the movie ended, I turned the Yankees game on. And so like I didn't have that experience for like right afterwards where I was like letting it digest a little bit and be like, what the fuck did I just see? Because it seems so simple. It seems so normal. But at the same time, I was like, So I think some of the silly scenes were too silly. I think, but like, and then again, that chasing scene at the end is fucking awesome. So on the whole, I really liked it, but I also feel like I have to give it some time and see it again because it was so much movie. It was a lot. And I think even the most brilliant filmmakers in the world are going to watch this and being like, Paul got me on this. He's got me. I need to see it again to have any idea what the fuck he was going for. But apart from the obvious things. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. Well, first of all, I've never not said that about one of his movies. Mm-hmm. It kind of demands rewatches. I remember when I walked out of The Master, not that these are the same kind of movie at all, but I walked out of The Master and I said to myself, God, I think I hated that. That might be my favorite Paul movie once I see it 3 or 4 more times. Like I really was like, God, that was not much fun to watch. I'm going to love that.
Yeah, but I felt pain. I felt it. Actually, you know what? To that point, it was probably the person next to me, but it smelled like BO. And I was like, is that the movie? Is that my brain watching the movie, or is it somebody near me?
4D is the Regal 4D.
Yeah, right.
I'll just try to be fairly brief. I do think this was a brilliant movie. I think this is a Dr. Strangelove-esque satire, and this is his version of that, And this is my biggest takeaway, because I want people to go see this. And Dave, when you give your review, maybe we'll go a little bit deeper. I do think you should go see it in the movie theater because it's really fun. I think you're going to enjoy the action. It's got quite an engine. It's a fucking masterclass in exposition. The way this thing gets you into the story is folding on top of full. It's really breathtaking. This is what I leave the listeners with. I am so thankful and proud of 2 of my favorite filmmakers, Ari Aster and Paul Thomas Anderson for making political films right now and not making them feel like they were propaganda. And that's
for sure.
That's really hard to do. And only I think it's just so cool seeing some of the best minds and filmmakers out there use satire to try to say something without making you feel like you're getting, finger wagged at. You're going to laugh. You're going to be like, what the fuck? You're going to feel action. It's visceral. So more than anything, I was just so fucking proud of them. And I had that same feeling after this one, and maybe even more so with this one in a sense, because it has such an intense energy to so much of it that you kind of do walk out like, I don't know. I was gritting my teeth a little bit.
I was
anyway,
too. And towards the end of the movie, there's a scene, like, it involves a car. I don't want to give anything away, but it's like, especially in the big format, it's fucking wild. I remember thinking at the time, the first time I saw Avatar in the 3D in 2009, when that little bird thing goes over the cliff, I felt like I was flying. Like, I felt like I was at Disney World on one of those flying rides. I felt that way with this, and it wasn't in 3D. When they're going up and down over those little
especially,
hills, the first hill, and it's coming. It feels like you're on a fucking roller coaster, and it's in two-dimensional form. It's like, it's really exciting.
To that, I did want to make this comment. Anyone who's trying to feel like, I got to hold out for the big format, yes, it's a breathtaking. The music and sound and everything is overwhelming. Because he uses so many intense, extreme close-ups and wides. I think this is going to watch beautifully on a television and on a regular fucking size movie screen with a regular distance from the screen. So do not hold off if you can't get tickets. Like, go fucking see it in a regular theater. It's going to be a great rewatch on smaller screens or reasonable, regular-sized movie theater screens. And then the last word I'll say, and I really am going to shut up after this, Sean Penn. Sean Penn
was so great.
Sean
Those
Penn.
little ticks
I think he might win the Oscar for this. Okay. Jeff, why don't you tell us what your surprise third viewing was?
It was impulsive. I saw a trailer, and then that night I saw a film. What?
Oh, cool. What was it?
Anemone. I saw Anemone in theaters.
How was it, dude?
So I saw it. So it's in limited release October 3rd, and then October 10th it goes to a wide. So I was like, oh my God. And then I saw the trailer and I went, it is.
Tell people what it is. Tell people the movie.
Okay. Fuck you.
I was
so this is obviously Daniel Day-Lewis's return to the screen. He co-wrote this with his son Ronan. Ronan is the director. This is Ronan Day-Lewis's first proper film. It was also co-executive produced by Plan B, aka Brad Pitt. And so it was really funny at the end of the movie to see executive producers Daniel Day-Lewis, Brad Pitt sharing a title card at the very end of it. It was really fun. So, and then Sean Bean is in the movie. Samantha Morton is a big stage actor. John, I know you love her stage work. It is a psychological drama. I think I'll go with the good, and then the things that I'm lingered with. Nothing bad. I think it is a really good movie. I hope people can separate the fact that it's a first film and that it's a young filmmaker who has not just Daniel Day-Lewis, but also his mom and his grandpa are legends. His mom has made independent films, Ballad of Jack and Rose, and then we saw that movie, John, where
Rebecca Miller.
Rebecca Miller's mom, who is Arthur Miller's daughter. Arthur Miller, the great playwright of Death of a Salesman, etc. So
and Rebecca just finished making Scorsese, Mr. Scorsese, the giant docuseries that's going to be on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah. So this is set in basically half set in Sheffield, England, and then half set in like the woods of England, where Daniel's character is in a recluse, hence Anemone is the name. And it's going to be about trauma, and they're going to expose the trauma. So I would say the good things are the visual storytelling is incredible, his use of color, but also understanding breath in frame. So they have a lot of natural events that are surreal, like storms and wind, and the trailer has Daniel looking up to the sky a lot. It's like, it's really breathtaking and interesting, and I really appreciated that. And again, it just looked and felt great. The sound was really well done, it had a good mix, and then of course the performances are great, and there are a couple really great scenes because Daniel did help co-write this. The things that I'm lingering with are, I think he had a couple ideas that I think are hard to pull off. One of which is basically like the characters aren't going to talk very much because that basically like we want to see everything, and it's a trauma movie. So they're going to talk about the traumatic things at some point. And so sometimes it leads to indicating. It leads to the actors on screen having to like fill what they wouldn't normally just say in real life. And it can turn into kind of like this seems a little too cheeky. It doesn't seem as real or whatever. It doesn't seem as grounded in that kind of reality. I think also too, there's a couple like visions that they have and a couple where they decide to go for some sort of surreal vision or something supernatural. And I kind of feel like they could have gone farther with it. And the last thing too is that they did this effect a lot. Like you can tell, like this is why you might think it's a young filmmaker, where like the scene would start in dead silence. And I know because I'm eating popcorn, I feel terrible for the person next to me because the previous scene was so loud, and then it's in dead silent. And I'm eating. I'm like, oh my God, they can hear my
Jeff
chewing.
Eats popcorn like the fucking Cookie Monster. So
that is 100% true. And I didn't know about the upgrades. So I got this huge fucking bucket for myself. But yeah, so then like the scene will go, and then the sound will go, and then it'll get bigger, and then it'll get bigger, and it's fucking huge, like the loudest fucking sound you've ever heard, and then it cuts to dead silent, like we're in fucking like Interstellar or something. And they did that like 10 times in the movie, so it got to be a little heavy-handed with that. So for a first film, brilliant. I hope you can separate the fact that it's a first film, and I hope you let Daniel be Daniel. Last thing I'll say about this is the New York Times headline of the review is, some movies Daniel Day-Lewis is just too big for, and I think that's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, someone's trying to get attention with that.
It's fucking stupid. That's so stupid. What a fucking stupid headline.
He was in at one of my works the other night. I missed him by that much.
Really?
Ronan's IMDb, just to set this up in terms, because I haven't seen it yet, in terms of potential, I think he's only credited with like a music video and a short film.
Yeah, and he's a visual artist. He does a lot of painting.
He's a visual artist, so yeah. I mean, we saw people like Steve McQueen, also from that neck of the woods, who started with that visual arts background and then got into filmmaking. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to be a powerhouse filmmaker if he chooses to be.
This excites me. If you have any interest in watching this, and of course we always recommend seeing it on the big screen, but it's really visually stunning. It really is brilliant, and I feel like Daniel and Brad and the people that were supporting this film let him have that time and space to like let it be magical on big screen, of course. You can tell he is influenced by so many people. So even though it still feels like his own, you'll feel some David Lynch in there. You'll feel some Lynchian elements. You'll feel some Steve McQueen. John, I'm glad you mentioned Steve McQueen. You will literally feel that. His mom, of course, the indie filmmaker herself, French New Wave. And then I want you to go back and watch interviews with Daniel and him talking about the movies that inspired him. And then you'll sit there and be like, yes, I saw that. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like he was doing pastiche. It does feel like it's his own movie, but you can also see the influences. So I think that was pretty cool.
Harold Bloom, right? That anxiety of influence.
Right. But they mentioned Shame because there's a lot of two shots. And so they specifically mentioned Shame where they had 10-minute two shots in Shame. So that was one that they watched in preparation for this. Okay, that's it.
Awesome. I am going to see it for sure. Awesome.
That's cool.
Okay, I saw Frankenstein last night, and everyone who knows anything about these Netflix movies, they're probably not going to put this one into big AMCs and Regals, right? They're just going to put it into select theaters so that it can run long enough to be up for awards. Yeah, exactly. So I went to the old Motion Picture Academy Museum, and it was the LA premiere. So, they were doing all the red carpet and stuff. Unfortunately, that main theater there is one of my favorite theaters in the world. It's unreal. It's like a giant red spaceship. It's all red. It's beautiful. We went into the spillover theater, though. Initially, I was like, damn. Much smaller, but fucking perfect. I mean, perfectly calibrated. Looks gorgeous. And we were all waiting for the movie to start, thinking nobody was going to do anything, and Guillermo del Toro just kind of walked in and talked with us for a while. And it was a smaller theater, and he was just there kind of chit-chatting. It was really cool.
Yeah, the main theater is probably like, where the fuck's Guillermo? Like he's wandered off.
But he was there?
Yeah, they were all there, dude. Yeah, it was the red carpet. It was the LA premiere after Venice. So anyway, it is good. Just like so many of the Netflix movies, it's long, and I'm concerned people are just going to press pause too many times and maybe just not finish it because it's a long movie. It's not like 3 hours or anything, but it's over 2 hours. And I think for some people, this is what I said as soon as we walked away. I think for some people, this is going to be like one of their favorite movies. Like if you're into that kind of gothic monster storytelling, you probably have never seen something like this with such epic scale, production value, gore, polish. It's just, if you're looking for that, it's got it. And it's got it in spades. Desplot wrote the score, so it's very romantic.
Wow.
Very romantic. And I want to give some props to Guillermo del Toro. This kind of movie, isn't my favorite kind of movie. I still really enjoyed it. But I was very, very impressed by a lot of his dialogue. Like some really moving takes on that story that you have heard before, and dealing with themes of fathers and sons, creators and masters, obsession, deconstruction of the psyche. And anyway, it was good. And the performances are good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz,
really
Mia
gory.
Goth, Felix Kammerer, Charles Dance, David Bradley, Lars Mikkelsen. I mean, what a cast.
Yeah. So I know I say this every fucking time, but if you can go see it in a movie theater, that's definitely the best way to do it. If you're going to watch it at home, like give it its due. This might be his last big monster movie. He's kind of said that. So you should really sit down, put on your headphones if you're willing to watch that way, and like try to dive in, because it is quite a epic period monster movie. It's like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything at this scale with that subject matter. So anyway, it was fun. It was fun.
Incredible. And yeah, you're right. He has the lone story credit apart from his adaptation like that.
Yeah, which I didn't realize until I did. I was like, wow, he wrote every fucking word of that. Wow.
I love Felix Kammerer. I'm rooting for him. And Mia Goth. Oh my God.
She's good. They're all good. They're all good. They're all good in it.
Sweet.
Fucking Christoph Waltz is in it for like half the movie. He's fucking Christoph Waltz and wonderful.
He got the accent. I'll just say this: in the church that I grew up in, my parents sent a clip. They watched the original, The Phantom of the Opera from the 1920s. It's a silent film, and the new organ master improvised the score on the organ for the whole 2 hours.
Wow!
Film. My parents were like, "That's a silent film," and they were like, "That's fucking awesome." But it was it was candlelit. They didn't have any.
Oh, it's one of those. Cool.
In a church. It was like, so kudos to Jordan at the First Presbyterian Church of Metuchen. Shout out. I wish I could go.
First Pres.
All right. Dave, anything you want to say in response to all this BS we've been spouting?
No, I'm intrigued. I'm going to watch a couple of movies this week if I get time.
Oh my God.
I'm having 2 very fucking busy weeks, so yeah.
Right.
I'm going to try and squeeze it in.
That's what she said. Here we go. That's for me and you.
I didn't even do that, folks.
Actually, my upcoming week's busy too, but we're going to get it. All right. Are you guys ready to talk about 1999 so we can segue into our conversation about Fight Club?
Yes.
By the way, I was drinking a little bit already. I drove, so I wasn't drinking that much, of course. But it's at a golf outing to raise money for kids.
Oh yeah.
That's why I look like this to our YouTube audience. Okay.
For the kids.
1999. We like to start with the box office, do the film year first, and then some world events and fun facts quickly, keeping it moving, of course. Box office. What was the highest? Oh, wait. We've only been here once before, and it was before the Random Year Generator series. Do you remember what movie we talked about from 1999?
Is it Sofia Coppola's first film?
No, we didn't. I don't think we talked about that.
We didn't talk about Virgin Suicides? I thought we did.
No.
What? I don't know.
We talked about talking about it last week.
Oh,
we talked about talking about it. Did.
I don't remember. What was it?
We talked about The Matrix. We talked about The Matrix. Yeah, we did a conversation. Yes. Do you remember I did the whole
episode on The Matrix?
This is what happens when you drink on your podcast.
I know, it's all brand new.
Yes. Dave, do you remember this?
This is why I can rewatch movies, by the way, folks.
You really don't remember this? I remember because I remember sending you a game because I was like, we're going to talk about The Matrix, and they're going to be like, another movie podcast talking about The Matrix. So I came up with a game for everybody, and one of them was I was going to point out plot holes, but because we love the movie, I'm going to do it in a funny way instead of like, real, like whatever. Nothing? You don't? I can't believe you fucking don't remember this. We talked about The Matrix early on.
Suggesting that game. Are you drinking whiskey in a sippy cup?
Dave, you responded. You wrote answers into my sheet. Yes, I'm drinking whiskey out of a show cup. This is from the Beacon Theater. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, anyway. What was the highest grossing movie, you clowns?
Definitely, without a doubt, episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh, I thought you were going to make a joke. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, Phantom Menace grossed $924 million. Sorry. No, stop. Enough gushing you.
And was so bad it affected the box office of the next 2 movies.
But you know what's funny?
See, I was at the right age. Natalie Portman.
Same here.
She saved it for me.
Natalie Portman saved it for me. And you know what? The pod racer scene was
and Darth Maul.
All they was.
Come on, yeah, come on.
I mean,
Darth Maul, but still,
the double lightsaber against 2 people.
Duel of Fates.
Which we basically just ripped off Carmina Burana. I mean, it's amazing how fucking much he ripped off Carmina Burana. I'm not even that much of a classical music fan, but I literally did the Oh, Fortuna. Oh, and I was like, oh my God, motherfucking John Williams ran out of ideas in 1999 and just ripped off Carmina Burana. Okay.
He stole from Mahler throughout his whole career. Steal from the best, baby.
Yeah, they all stole from Mahler because commercial people didn't give him any time. So they're like, oh, really? We can get away with this? Sondheim? Okay. Number 2. Guys, what's number 2?
Number 2? Oh, dude. Is it
I'll give you a hint.
I'll be shocked.
No, Matrix is number 4. I'll give you a hint. Number 2, in hindsight, it's not a surprise, but at the time, it was a huge surprise. Nobody would have expected this movie to be number 2. No, Blair Witch comes in at number 11 with $248 million worldwide. One of the highest grossing movies of all time, especially on its budget. I mean, according to
Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 came in at number 3 worldwide with $487 million.
Beat that?
Number 2 was The Sixth Sense at $672 million worldwide.
God, what a film
these numbers are according to Box Office Mojo.
And it was one of the few times nobody spoiled anything. Like not now where you get this bullshit where something comes out one day and someone's on their fucking internet 5 minutes later with a fucking spoiler, and like that lasted for a year almost, and nobody spoiled the ending of that thing.
Well, and of course we're going to talk about Fight Club, but the best anecdote about this movie, which M. Night Shyamalan he admitted years later, is every single person he gave the script to said they're going to get it. The audience is going to get it. This is going to be stupid. They're going to get it, and they're going to think it's dumb. And then finally somebody was like, look, just make a good movie and they'll go with you. And so you same thing with Fight Club. All the signs are there. Just make a good movie and people will go with you. And not a single fucking person could have possibly guessed that, even though it was there, right there, written on his fucking face the entire movie. God damn it. Make a good movie, people, and people will go with you. That's great. So to recap, number 1, Phantom Menace, 924. Sixth Sense, number 2, $672 million, including almost $300 million worldwide. International. And then $379 domestic. Toy Story 2 made almost $500 million at $487 million. Future iterations would, of course, cross that $1 billion mark for sure. The Matrix comes in at number 4 with $463 million. Tarzan, fucking Phil Collins, man, lifted that movie up to $448 million. Writing songs about his daughter. Man, he did not have to go that hard. Notting Hill, guys. This is when rom-coms. We did My Big Fat Greek Wedding last week, came up. Notting Hill, $363 million. $363 fucking million.
Yeah, that became a thing.
Isn't that crazy?
I've still never seen that all the way through.
Now Julia Roberts is making miniseries for Amazon. I mean, it's so crazy like how things are changed now. Not because of her, I'm saying because of the industry. Okay, American Beauty, number 7, $356 million. And then just like an Oscar bait drama. If only The Smashing Machine could just be an Oscar bait drama to get $350 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's too bad. What happened?
$5 million. You know why? Nobody knows who the person is and nobody fucking cares. That's why. Sorry. Okay.
Isn't there already another movie as well?
Yeah, remember there's like a real movie about the real man.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. And you know what? They said, nobody knows this movie, so let's make another one about the exact same thing that nobody's also going to know. American Beauty comes in number 7. Runaway Bride comes in at number 8. That's right. What a fucking weird-ass year. $309 million.
Whoa! She made a lot of money that year.
Number 9. Yeah, right? Julia.
Wow.
Cashing those paychecks. Number 9, Stuart Little comes in at $300 million. I'm reading the fucking list. Get out of here. I'm on Box Office Mojo. And then number 10, beating the Blair Witch Project, is that nice, light, little, short, quick, one-act, teeny tiny rom-com. The Green Mile comes in at number 10 with $286 million. A couple other movies that made money. The First American Pie comes in at number 12. Big Daddy, Wild Wild West in the top 14. Austin Powers' Spy Who Shagged Me, $200 million. Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. Double Jeopardy, back to Tommy Lee. Analyze This. Deep Blue Sea, Eyes Wide Shut. Somehow makes a lot of money. 162. And then, guys, somehow down at number 26, I feel like is the movie that I would have expected to make more than most of those movies. The Mummy comes in at number 26. Thank God for Blockbuster to give them some goddamn money.
Yeah, nobody saw The Mummy coming. That
movie was like made for syndication.
Yeah.
They're like, when this thing hits TBS and TNT, we're going to be rich.
And sorry to Pierce Brosnan, but back to back at number 31 and 32, The World Is Not Enough and The Thomas Crown Affair. Now, those are two movies that you would have expected to make that Julia Roberts money this year. But nope. So sorry. $126 million for a Bond movie, and then The Thomas Crown Affair, $124, which is probably what they had to pay for that Nina Simone song. You know what I mean? And then Fight Club just crosses $100 million. Any other movies you want to shout out this year?
Definitely Almodovar's All About My Mother. That was not his first breakout, but that was definitely a breakout, and I think he got nominated that year. The Hurricane, Denzel, boxing movie. Boys Don't Cry. I think we got to give it up for that. I remember
Hilary Swank won an Oscar.
It's not like I followed film news back then, but if you were interested in movies at all, they kept talking about how they made that movie for $3,000 or something ridiculous, no money at all. And of course, Hilary Swank exploded out of it and did really well. Election, and Alexander Payne's Election, which I think really solidified. He had made one movie before, but a lot of people consider this that first feature that really sailed. I joked about it, but Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo is a funny movie. The Cider House Rules. Did you mention that?
No, but Michael Caine won an Oscar, so you mentioned some Oscars here. That was his second Oscar, this one for a supporting category.
Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman story, directed by Milos
Jim's
Forman.
Great. Paul Giamatti's great in that.
Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, a Jim Jarmusch film starring Forrest Whitaker. It's a fucking badass.
Get out of here. I thought you were going to say Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo for a second. I almost misheard you.
Any Given Sunday, a forgotten Oliver Stone movie, I feel like. Right? Isn't that the one with Al Pacino? It's 6 inches right in front of your face.
And that's
life.
And I hate to say it, but we should have known for Gangs in New York that Cameron Diaz is good at what she does, but there's certain times where we almost won the Pantheon Cup. And it's like, oh, yeah. Al Pacino, I'm being knighted over here. Oh my God, his speeches. Yeah.
This was the year that Nick Cage collaborated with Martin Scorsese.
$1 million.
Name that movie.
You what?
Name that movie that Nick Cage and Martin Scorsese made together. It's one of his lesser-known films for both of them. He plays an ambulance, an EMT bringing out the dead. Never saw it?
Bring out your dead. No, never saw it.
Bring out your dead. I'm not dead. Okay, all right, some fun stuff. Anyway,
I just want to say for the younger listeners here, we also got to mention some movies like She's All That. And
the younger listeners, we're not young anymore, dude. You know what?
Okay, fine. Varsity Blues. You're right. Never mind. Girl Interrupted.
The Straight
All
Story.
the younger listeners, if we have any, are like, what? What?
And we talked about Paul Thomas Anderson. Magnolia was this year. Okay, sorry. Okay, we should move on. What would you say, John?
We should move on. Yeah, I just wanted to mention David Lynch's The Straight Story. Right. One of his more normal films that's still fucking beautiful, and you should watch it immediately and enjoy yourself. Okay.
We already talked enough about Oscars, but just American Beauty won Best Picture Director, and then leading actor was Kevin Spacey, which is his second after winning for The Usual Suspects in the supporting category in I think 95. And Sam Mendes, of course, directed that and won. And I said, who won supporting actress? Michael Caine, supporting actor. Where is it? Oh, and Angela Jolie won for Girl Interrupted. She won an Oscar. Don't forget.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I've seen that.
I saw it one time basically for her.
Was it good?
And is it Winona? Who is it?
Winona Ryder's in it.
Yeah. It's like a mental institution movie. It's cool. Okay, a couple fun facts about 1999. I promise I will keep this snappy. Are you ready?
I think she was in it. Have I blended two movies there?
No, that's you're right. You're right. Cool. This is the year that Napster was founded. So this definitely changed the trajectory of our lives because we downloaded a lot of music in the next 3 years. Yeah, Napster started in 1999.
Way earlier than that.
No, because it took off like a fucking firestorm. It actually, the lawsuit went through in like 2002 or 2003. So Napster had a quick run before all the other ones like BearShare and LimeWire and
There were 2 years where we downloaded like 100 terabytes.
Oh my God. We cost that record industry so much money. Anyway, the world braced for the arrival of the chaos, of 2000s. And so we talked about when we did 2000, we were like, oh, it's the year of Y2K. And I was like, no. 1999 was the year of Y2K because that was the year we were freaking out. And
everyone was freaking out and fuck all happened.
That's right. Columbine happened this year, guys. That's right. Yeah, awful, not good. On January 7th, the impeachment of Bill Clinton began. He would, of course, be impeached, but he was acquitted of perjury and obstruction of justice. And so he was never tried and removed, et cetera, which is the same thing that happened to Trump,
my favorite thing to come out of that is Monica Lewinsky on social media now because she is just fucking owning it like a boss.
Yeah.
And yeah. some of the clapbacks are amazing.
Oh my God. And we finished the fucking hell. What's that show that we watched, Dave, that's set in Italy? The
Amanda Knox story?
Amanda Knox story, which was produced by Monica Lewinsky, as you mentioned, Dave. 50 million people watched the 2020 interview of Monica Lewinsky on Barbara Walters. Although according to Variety, at least 74 million Americans watched at least 6 minutes of that interview. So 74 million Americans in 1999 watched the Monica Lewinsky interview with Barbara Walters.
That's longer than it took to happen.
And it's harder. We have to put that in context. That's hard to do back then when there wasn't a YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't just pull up the interview. That was live. That we all
it was live, and then maybe some re-airs, but live. People were like, "What are you doing tonight? You don't watch the thing." In 1999, the number of worldwide internet users reached $150 million worldwide. Over
$150 or people?
Users?
150 million users. Did I say users?
You said dollars.
But whatever.
Why would I say that?
Users. Wow.
Because people are money.
Wow.
You're right.
Apropos for our movie.
Companies are. My apologies. 150 million users, and more than 50% of them were in the United States. So the internet was still largely a United States phenomenon in 1999.
And all of it was born.
Yeah.
Words like bling, blog, blogger, blogosphere, clickbait, e-reader, e-scooter, e-waste, metabolics, metabolomics. I don't fucking know what that shit is.
Yeah.
And vape all appeared in print for the first time. And texting. The word texting appeared for the first time in print in 1999. How about that?
Dude, I remember it was somewhere in the 90s when the internet, like CompuServe and things like that, hit Australia. My first CompuServe bill was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is back when people didn't know how billing worked, because it's like, okay, I'm only going to send 50 texts, and then their kid sends 1,000, and their bill's $700.
Australia, when I left, had this bullshit where you'd have a certain amount of megabytes you could, or whatever you could download a month.
If you went over as if we knew what a megabyte was back then.
And if they went over it, they started billing you per megabyte.
Yeah.
And like they're still doing that to people in Australia. That's when I left 10 years ago.
Yeah, and we were like, we don't know what this means. Fuck you. You can't just bill us like that. Okay.
There's a joke. If Jeff had seen Caught Stealing, there's a joke in it about minutes.
Fuck you.
Remember, Dave? It's like, I can't remember my minutes.
12 European nations decided that the euro would be their currency. So for anybody that travels around Europe, you can be thankful for that. It makes our life easier. Jack Ma founded Alibaba this year. That came out. Yeah, it's pretty good. How about this? Until the year 1999, Montana didn't have a speed limit on the interstate. They just encouraged drivers to be reasonable and prudent. And you know what? As much as I would like to say I wish that was reinstated, I also can't rely on a single person I know to be reasonable and prudent. I'm so sorry to say.
I have to drive the speed limit because you get deported for speeding tickets now. But the amount of people screaming past me on like just the parkways is ridiculous.
It's great. Yeah. Okay, final segment here. We're going to get into some pop culture here. Okay, the popular names were, now guess what? We get 10 and 10. It's not 5 and 5 this year. I'm on a different site. This is Hub Pages here. Jacob, Michael, Matthew, Joshua, Christopher, Nicholas, Andrew, Joseph, Tyler, and Daniel were the top 10 most popular baby names. And I don't think I saw either of your names.
Nope.
No, we're good.
Wow, guys, they took a break from using your name. For the ladies, Emily, Hannah, Alexis, Sarah, Samantha, Ashley, Madison, Taylor, Jessica, and Elizabeth. Those are the top 10 names for the ladies.
So many white people names.
So many white people names. The average life expectancy at birth was 76 years. That's definitely an improvement on some of our other years in review. And here we go. Oh, a couple shows that premiered on TV. Family Guy first premiered on Fox.
And was immediately canceled.
And it was canceled. On NBC, you had Law & Order SVU and The West Wing, both premiered on NBC. And a little teeny tiny show called SpongeBob SquarePants premiered on Nickelodeon in 1999. The most popular TV shows, are you ready? From 1999 to 2000. There's another show I didn't mention that came out this year, but it's going to find its way onto this list. Let's see if you can catch it. Number 10, Touched by an Angel. Number 9, The Practice. Number 8, 60 Minutes. Number 7, Frasier. Number 6, Monday Night Football. 5, Friends. 4, ER. And then number 3, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Sunday. Number 2, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Thursday. And number 1, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Tuesday.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That premiered in 1999. And you remember when it was all the rage. Do you remember when the first guy got $1 million? Do you remember the first guy? That is one of the most baller things that's ever happened. Okay, if you don't remember this, you had 3 lifelines, a 50-50, a poll the audience, and a phone a friend. You only had 3 lifelines to get 10 questions. This motherfucker gets to the $1 million question, and it goes up. So literally you get $100 million, whatever, 125, $250,000, $500,000, and then $1 million. $1 million question. He goes, I'd like to phone a friend, and I'm going to phone my mom. And they're like, oh, okay. And like, so they call the mom. Yeah. And he goes, hey, Mom, I actually don't need any help. I know this answer, but I just wanted to call and let you know that I'm about to win $1 million. Fucking baller.
Yeah, that's
and he's
TV
the first one.
Yeah.
And Regis's fucking face is like, holy shit, bro. You just got me a fucking Emmy, you dick.
Yeah.
This is like the best TV moment of my life. Oh my God, it's so good. I didn't say federal minimum wage was still $5.15. Average annual income $40,000. New car $21,000. Obviously, there's a range in there. New home was $195 million. But the median cost
$1,000.
$195,000. What the fuck? You know, you just correct me. Please just pay attention so I don't fuck up a lot. But you know I'm going to make some mistakes. And then actually, the average cost of a single family home was $315,000.
Wow.
But by December, in 1 year, it increased to $343,000. So it went up $30,000 in 1 year. And then a couple songs almost done. A couple songs that were number 1 this year. Number 1 on the charts this year. Baby One More Time. Angel of Mine by Monica. Cher's Believe came out this year.
Oh my God.
Which was supplanted by TLC's No Scrubs, which was supplanted by Livin' La Vida Loca.
Dude, Believe they use as like anti-riot weaponry in some countries.
Sure, and they look fabulous. And they look fabulous doing it. A couple other movies that were songs that were number 1. Did I say Livin' La Vida Loca? Bills by Destiny's Child. Wild Wild West by Will Smith featuring Drew Hill and Cool Mo D. Genie in a Bottle, Christina Aguilera comes out this year. By Lamos, Unpretty by TLC, and Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey and Jay-Z. And then Rob Thomas and Santana's Smooth would finish out the year. And can I just say, I have a really long story that I'm not going to say right now, but 9999 was the date of the MTV Music Video Awards, and it was peak culture. 9999. I think it was the Britney Spears Madonna Kiss. 9999.
Is that when Jim?
Dude, Smooth might still be in the charts in Australia.
I think Jim
Carrey
be right.
is
I messed up Smooth at a concert I was singing at because I got drunk and I still feel bad about it. I jumped the guitar solo and I still feel bad about it. I'm so sorry. Last but not least.
What? That's all that's in it. That's all repurposed for the song.
I know.
Fuck.
This is a decade later and I still feel terrible.
It's not like Santana was playing it. Come on, it doesn't.
No, but it was some guitarist and it was his moment.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was such an asshole. I was such an asshole. Okay, anyway, I'm going to skip prices because who gives a shit. Top 10 cool food and beverage trends of the year. Are you ready? We need a drum roll. Number 10, Slim Fast.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Number 9, pizza bagels. With pizza on a bagel, you could have pizza.
You can eat pizza
and then go and eat some Slim Fast.
Sorry, John was starting, and then go, and then after that, your mom's gonna be like, "You need to get some nutrients. Drink a Slim Fast." Number 8, molten
the pink one, please.
Number 8, molten chocolate cake.
Sure. Whatever.
Number 7, Lunchables, another returning champion. Lunchables on here. Wow. Number 6, Hot Pockets.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 5, goat cheese.
Weird.
Number 4, somehow they put 2 in number 4. Dunkaroos and Gushers are both number 4.
Dunkaroos, dude.
I fucking love Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos.
Number 3 is Crystal Pepsi.
Yep.
Oh, weird. I remember that.
That was the clear one.
Yes. Did not work.
No, it was weird.
Number 2 was crab cakes. And number 1, the number 1 food and beverage trend of 1999 is chicken Caesar salad.
Okay. Still good. Still good. Excellent. Still a classic.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make your joke, Dave. Go ahead, say it. You say it.
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, with that, then we are going to move ahead into our featured conversation about Fight Club 1999. Are you boys ready to get into it?
Yes.
So we've obviously all seen this before. We'd like to do guess how many times you've seen it before. We watched this. It's on. I thought it was on Max. I think it's on Paramount Plus right now. or Peacock? It's on Paramount Plus.
I don't know. I typed it into Real Good, and it wouldn't talk about it. I had to do it at one point. Come on, at least I had to get one out.
So good. Get out of here. Drink up. Drink up. I think it's on Paramount Plus right now. How many times do you think you've seen this movie?
I'm going to be totally honest. I have only seen this movie twice. I have seen bits and pieces of it, throughout time, but I saw it when it first came out, and I'll just go ahead and say this. I did not like it the first time I saw it. I was frustrated by it.
12.
Yeah, exactly. I was too young, I think. And then I just saw it for today for the second time, and I can't believe that I had never seen it in its entirety since 1999.
I don't think I saw it
years ago.
In its entirety the first time, because I saw things this time that I missed the first time. Totally.
For sure, dude.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm thrilled. I've seen this way more than that, but also it was just on TV all the time. It was on.
Which is kind of crazy to think about. How? How was this edited for television?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Should we let the cat out of the bag now? What we thought?
Let's
do it. You got 5 buttons.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I just went ahead and hit button.
2, 1. I can't decide.
Well, we've already decided, so hurry the fuck up. There you go.
Oh,
okay.
you ruined it.
You guys went with the gold star?
Fuck yeah.
We did. Remember my rule. I'm going out of 10, which means gold star is
9 or 10, basically, right?
9 or 10. Yeah. I think it's in the zone.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, talk me down if you think it's out of 6.
No, I don't want to talk you down.
Read the blurb because it's funny. Read the blurb because I think it's funny to try to tell what this movie is about.
I'm going to read the IMDb blurb, and then I'm going to pass it around and let you know what you think. So, IMDb blurb, Fight Club. An insomniac office worker and a devil-may-care soap maker form an underground fight club that evolves into much more. What is a devil you care soap maker? What the fuck is that?
The Paramount Plus blurb, I think it literally just says 2 male friends start a club where men fight each other.
Oh, gee.
Wow.
Like they're, I mean.
I couldn't get that from the title.
Yeah. ChatGPT 1 wrote that.
Okay. I mean, is this your favorite Fincher then? If you're giving this a gold star, Social Network, you give a gold star. You'd give 7 a gold. You probably give 7 a gold star.
I'd give 7 a gold star, but not Social Network.
We love Social Network. Sure. You try to tell we okay. Whatever, Dave. Whatever. You tell yourself that. All right. You guys? Okay, you guys go first because you haven't seen it. John. Okay, let's start with you this time. We usually start with Dave. I know we've been chatting about movies, but
okay.
I can't believe this is your second time ever seeing this movie, and you just fucking go gold star.
I did, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is a dangerous movie, dude. I'm trying to think of the right words to describe it. And, they're making this subject matter at the time, and I just spent the whole afternoon, watching interviews and everything. They're making this movie with this subject matter, with these themes, directly, literally head on, dealing with this anger of men feeling, disenfranchised and trying to get back that manpower. Back then, thinking that was not prescient, thinking that was happening then, and now it's so alive, it's so visceral and around us. This felt even more dangerous. And I remember it feeling dangerous then. But honestly, dude, we're just thank God David Fincher is not fucking Leni Riefenstahl. And if that man is so fucking effective with his Leni Riefenstahl, folks, made all the fucking Hitler propaganda films. That's a joke. Yeah. I'm not saying he's that, but he is so dedicated.
Hitler humor often hits on this show. Yeah.
Sure. He's so dedicated and capable of challenging and provoking audiences without needing to rely on any kind of, and this is ultimately what I'm going to talk about a little bit later, on traditional mea culpa, that I don't think you can cleanly say that this is a cautionary tale, which is why I think it's so fucked up and dangerous and why it stood the test of time. What I will say is that even though it is total Fincher, punk rock, middle fingers up, funny, it's got all the things that he loves so much. And I think you can it's no question why he made such an effective movie. The more and more I think about this, and especially watching it now, man, it takes a mature audience member to interpret this kind of stuff these days.
You're not kidding.
We are not getting smarter as audience members. I'm not talking about big picture intelligence. I'm talking literally about culture. We do not treat literature as books anymore, and we do not treat mature film for adults as entertainment. And what happens, like, if when you show somebody something like this nowadays, they take it literally. And I can see a lot of people watching this nowadays and being like, wow, this is a real ad for the far right or the far left. And it's like, I don't know, man. I think there's a much deeper conversation that's happening there
not at all.
With the absurdity of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're not careful, it's the same argument that they have that people who don't want to go deeper have for glorifying gangsterdom in The Godfather. So anyway, we'll talk about that stuff further.
It's really funny. If you come to that conclusion, you have missed the point of this film entirely.
You have missed the fucking point.
Like we keep saying, people get different algorithms. So if people think the left is something that another person thinks the left is different, what we think the left is different because we're getting different feeds. So we think we're getting a well-rounded, balanced diet, but we're not. Dave, why did you love this movie so much?
Dude, some movies start with a hook, and this is one of the best hooks you'll find as a lead into a story.
It's a great hook.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You're like thrown right in, and the whole movie is basically a flashback. But I really dug the narration.
It feels like a book, right? It really feels like he's reading a book. You get intoxicated by it.
I mean, it's an adaptation of a book, but he does this like rhythmic intonation a lot. And it just carries you along through the exposition he's giving. So there's so much sometimes the complete opposite is happening on screen to what he's talking about, and it's a distraction. Like, it's not so much a distraction, but it complements what he's talking about. So you get the auditory part that's giving you exposition, plus something that may or may not be backing up what's happening.
Right.
It goes beyond it's not as simple as the unreliable narrator, right? Like, eventually it turns into you don't trust him, he doesn't trust himself. It's like an unknowingly unreliable narrator.
He also bounces between narrating the story, telling the story, and commenting as they're going.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes where he's breaking the wall and talking directly to the camera.
That is true. That actually, he pulls it off really well when Ed Norton starts talking direct. Also, guys, can we just fucking give it up for Edward Norton in this movie? I know Brad Pitt gets all the love because Tyler Durden is like, they admit it.
We can. I don't know if you can. You got a smiley face.
Without Brad Pitt, I can't imagine a single woman who would ever want to watch this movie. But also, without Brad Pitt, I don't know how a single man doesn't like obsess over this movie because he is idolized in a way. But also, they let his face not be like smooth. Like, it looks like he's got some, he looks vulnerable. Even he doesn't just look like an Adonis, right? Like, I think it's brilliant. But
yeah, I mean, he's rough.
But fucking Edward Norton, I feel like because Brad Pitt's character has all the power in the movie, like Edward Norton's character is in a weird way like submissive to Tyler, obviously because of the obvious. But I feel like it frees Ed up. I feel like he's free. Like, it's almost like he doesn't have the pressure of having to carry a movie. He doesn't have the pressure of having to live up to anything. He just feels fucking free. He is so raw in this movie, but not raw in like I'm trying to win an Oscar like Dwayne Johnson in this match. I'm sorry, I haven't even seen the movie. But like, he just feels so raw in this movie. Everything's so simple. Everything's so easy. He has no baggage. He is so fucking great. Can we agree that Edward Norton is a goddamn hero in this movie?
Yeah, I did write a note that like I feel like this film was a playground for Fincher, but it was a playground for everyone.
Yeah,
like to expand on that, because everyone is just. They're going with him on the ride wherever he wants to go, but they're bringing the A game.
And we know now, looking back, and I think people kind of started getting the hint really quickly then just from interviews, but Edward Norton is such a scrutinizing actor and an intellectual. Yeah. And you just know that when they were reading these scripts, I'm sure the first conversations they were having all the way through, this has so much philosophy, psychology, genre bending. Like, there's all these things that it's your dream of, not just because he's in the lead. It's your dream to be a part of a story that's dealing with this much stuff and is breaking that many rules. And then I would imagine, can you guys just imagine? Like, there's this famous story where they saw it at the Venice Film Festival, and that was not the first time they saw it, but there were a lot of walkouts, a lot of silence. They didn't have a great response there. And apparently, Brad and him just like smoked a joint and kind of were laughing about it. And Brad Pitt apparently leaned over to him in the middle of that bad response and said, "This is the best thing I'll ever be a part of." Can you imagine the first time they were shown it? Like, seeing all of that come together in Fincher and the editors and everybody's hands to try to actually make sense of this. Because I would imagine while they were shooting, it just felt like the ambition of doing this is incredible. But my God, the style is so important in grounding it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I have a note that the note I wrote about the film being a playground for Fincher. And I wrote that about probably halfway through the film. There are no notes after that because I got wrapped up in what I was watching. I just stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
I stopped. I had 100% of my focus as it roared towards the ending.
Let me tell you why this blow. Let me tell you. No. Well, I mean, it's been.
It's nice. Yeah, fuck it. If you haven't seen it yet, fuck you.
It's okay. Let me tell you why I gave it because I assumed that I would have given it a gold star, but I'll say this: I was especially taken by. Okay, hold on. I'm explain out. I was especially taken by the political messaging, John, yes, and how relevant it is, of course. It's, I mean, really, really prescient. It's amazing how prescient it is now, especially with regard to men. And having to wrap my head around, like, the one of the famous lines in this movie is because they make the soap with human fat, because it's actually great fat to make the soap. And so he basically says, we sell rich women their fat asses back to them. And you can read that as chauvinistic, right? You can read this as, like, very, like, pro-man, not to make it contemporary political, but, like, even at the time. But really, if you pay attention, it's really more about marketing and how we market to women.
Yeah, I took that as anti-consumerist.
It's not. I'm sure some women might, differ, but I got the impression that it was sort of anti-marketing, and that this is the kind of femininity that we want and like, and we can profit off of, and not so much like we're a bunch of men that like to hit each other and who cares about women. Helena Bonham Carter is the only real woman in this movie, and not exactly like a glowing endorsement of women, even though she's fucking badass.
And
but
I
certainly
love that,
not like femininity at the way that they're describing.
I love that she comes across as like a fucking train wreck and crazy until you realize what's going on. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, fuck, she just doesn't know what's going on either.
Yeah. And of course, they have sympathy for Chloe, the character that is dying of cancer, etc. Okay. The movie felt a little long this time. I will say I really appreciated what I'm sure a lot of people know anyway, which is the sort of the reason that they do the intercuts of Brad Pitt in those little moments. He says it, right? When he puts the cocks into the movies, family movies, he says, like, people only see what they want to see. And so in this movie, you could easily read it. So you're talking about philosophy. You could easily read it as like, haha, we got you. It was there the whole time. Why didn't you see it? But it's actually like, no, guys, it's there. Like, marketing, banks, like all of the industrial complex of politics, of commerce, of banking. They're obviously very anti-banking, and betting on people's, whether or not they're going to blow their house loan. They're obviously
following a leader.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, like, it's almost hard to wrap your head around the philosophical, like, or how much are you filling in and how much is actually there. And I say some of it felt a little long, but at the same time, some of it was also more profound for me this time. So I'm sort of torn into that.
And I think that's because it's the most, I think, at least, it's the most immersive storytelling that I think he's used in any of his movies. And that's not better, bad, worst, right, or anything like that. It's just what you were talking to, like, we got you. Didn't you see those little single shots? Like, that's not the way the story goes, and the way you're introduced to Edward Norton. You're just so much inside of his psychology. You really aren't being, like, you're not snooping around while you're watching for
right. Hello, hi, like, Elizabeth, good to see you.
Yes, she just said.
One of the most popular names of 1999.
Yeah, one of the most. Okay, so I guess this is the big thing that I wanted to. The politics, like, the filmmaking is, it's Fincher at his best, but, like, he's always fucking amazing. So I have no problem talking technical. If you want to talk technical, we should do it at some point. But the biggest thing that I could not stop thinking about at the end of this movie, and I already mentioned it, and I want to use the Godfather analogy because I think it's going to make it really clean and everybody will understand that. He was quoted saying in an interview, I just heard him say this today, when they were asking him, like, why did you want to make it? And even though I said I don't think it's a cautionary tale, we'll come back to that. He said, when I first read it, I just couldn't stop laughing. And he said, I thought it was a cautionary tale about what to do with the anger that's engendered by your disenfranchisement. And he said, to me, at least, it's the notion of relative absurdity of the Nietzschean idea of that Superman, the Umberman, that you're strong, defy God, and I am my own God, and I am the master of my own domain and my universe. And, we're seeing so much of that nowadays. So anyway, I think it's impossible to disassociate those two thoughts. So storytelling wise, the real edge of the knife is the final moment for me. And I think it was even why, as a child, when I saw this, I was frustrated. I probably couldn't put words to it in the same way then. This movie does not have consequence for its protagonist. This movie there's a very good argument, I think, that this presents itself as physical and environmental anarchy. And he is a member of that environment. Whether or not he's driving it, he's a part of it for sure. He's a part of this world where you're seeing all these people happen to it. I think there's actually a really good argument, and probably dissertations have been written on how this is actually about like existential anarchy. Like what he is choosing to do by creating this other self, you're watching this person like go insane and then use their insanity to hurt everyone around them. And, there's a really good argument for that too. But the main point I want to make, that I wanted to ask you guys, if you felt like it makes it more provocative and more effective for you and for a wide audience, or if you think there's a little bit of that danger there, which is why some people might misinterpret this. At the end of this movie, he shoots himself and figures out, I need to rid myself of you. His girl, Helena Bonham Carter, comes to him and they watch the destruction that he set in motion. There's no societal consequence. There's no other consequence. She doesn't break up with him.
Right.
The last line of the movie is literally like, you met me at a weird time in my life. So I'm going to use
one of the really a special last line of a movie.
Really cool, really awesome.
When Pixies is already playing, when Pixies,
the mise en scène of that whole moment is just like, it's overwhelming. And then the single cut of the fucking dick, it's so much there. But I'm going to use it. Stay with me for a second. I'm going to use that compared to The Godfather, where you get a lot of those arguments from people saying this glorifies gangster life, this glorifies the mafia. At the end of number two,
dark, yeah.
At the end of number two, which I think is the end of the main story. Number three is like a tangential thing, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of number two, Michael is left alone in that wonderful close-up when it comes up to him and it shows the flashback of the family and he's left alone. It comes back and you realize that he has been held accountable. The family is holding him accountable. The world isn't. He got away scotch-free from that Senate hearing, but the family will never be the same. They are going to hate him forever because he kills Fredo. So this movie, I just want to ask you guys, like outright, like, did you feel the danger of him not giving any mea culpa to his lead character who just did the most horrific thing that you could possibly imagine? And do you think that makes it more provocative and stronger and makes it more sexy? Or do you feel like that's why there's so much fucking conversation around this movie and people are fighting about what it's propagating and why it's bad? And
the character that survived is the one that influenced the not doing damage and is probably the reason that the buildings are empty, etc. And so that only the buildings were taken down. There was no people in them.
That's a stretch, though, dude. You don't know that. I mean, Tyler Durden's the one who said that.
I think, yes. But I also think, here's what I think they pulled it off, and maybe this was my viewing this time, of he actually did try to counter it. He tried to turn himself in, he tried to do the right thing, and then it obviously didn't work. And so, but I think one thing they do really well, which is, I'm still answering your question, is because you watch it 3, 4, 5, 6 times as I have, you wonder why, when he is Edward Norton, the narrator, as he is referred to, not in the movie, but colloquially, because he's not Tyler, why is it when he says don't do these things, they say, no, I'm not going to listen to you, even though he was probably the one who told them to do them in the first place. And it's like, I think he is at peace understanding that it's actually bigger than him and it's not about him. So even though he did set this thing into motion, he's like, people do have free will and this is what they wanted to do. They're doing what they want to do. I think he's at peace. Yes, you're right. That is letting him off the hook a little bit, but he did shoot himself in the neck. So I think you know what it makes me want to do, John? It makes me want to start it over again. That's what it makes me want to do.
Yeah.
I want to bring up the fact that the way Tyler is written, Like, he's very charismatic and everything, but he's written as that moron who's always spouting life wisdom. Like, he's not smart, but he convinced other people he is, and that's why they follow him. And it makes him really relatable because those morons are everywhere. I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to, like, having one of those in their lives somewhere.
I'm sure another dissertation... Yeah,
it's like, Dave, why are people fucking following this person?
Right. Well, I think another dissertation could be written about, like, we all have the Tyler Durden inside of us, and we could all command a room and convince people to do things, and we could all not and step out of that. It's the Marilyn Monroe thing, right? And Norma Jean. So but again, I think it's so important that when he steps out of that and he's in this person, with the exception of Helena Bonham Carter, when you watch it, she's the one who's kind of like, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with you? Fuck you. You're an asshole. But everybody else is like, yes, sir. Do this, blow this person up. Yes. Don't do this. Yes, sir. It's like, what the fuck? Are they sheep? And it's like, no, they're actually doing what they want to do. And you have it in you to be Tyler. You can be Edward Norton. You can be one of the sheep. You could be one of the police officers. You can be any one of these people. And I think that's part of the political message, is that we're not special. Even Edward Norton, who arranged this whole thing and flew all over the country and or Tyler Durden, Edward Norton as Tyler Durden, he's not special. And I think he's at peace with that at the end.
And it does to, what so much, I would say, great art does, according to Chekhov and so many other people, by not presenting that mea culpa, it doesn't present any answers to this problem.
Yeah, no.
Just because Edward Norton realizes what he set in motion, he does say you shouldn't kill people, but then after Tyler's like, yeah, we're not killing people, the buildings are empty, he still is basically just trying to stop it. And they don't really say why you shouldn't do it. He doesn't have some monologue where he's like, I've realized that there's nothing wrong with being a part of society in a more conforming way. And that, somewhere between this and where I was at the beginning is,
I don't know,
they don't ever announce that.
Right at the end, I think he surrenders to it. Yeah.
Well,
surrenders to
Fight Club is a society. It's not the society, but it's a society. No, he does surrender.
He's like, well, this is going to happen. So too. And he just stands there and watches it happen.
For sure. For sure.
But I think he's also retired in a way. I feel like I think he's retired by that point.
I don't know. It is something. And of course, I gave it the highest rating possible. I think I get this feeling a lot when I watch international cinema, world cinema, foreign films, especially from older times, and it's surprisingly, it comes from the most censored countries. I'll be watching movies and I'll be like, my God, I can't believe they put that on film. I can't believe, oh my God, they were allowed to make that. You don't get that feeling in America very often anymore. And this is definitely one of the last times where I was like, my jaw was kind of open when I was watching it this time. I kind of could not believe how, we are living this right now.
Yeah. Look,
I don't want to name names because I don't care.
Jimmy Kimmel.
David, you use the word follow specifically. We usually use that word when we're talking about cults. Yeah. I do not think it's a coincidence that they use that word in social media. When people have lots of followers and all these listeners, and there are all these motherfucking assholes who are in the manosphere, that whole fucking thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
They are inches away from trying to, from this feeling even more real, what's happening right now.
Because you've had Reddit explode up. Now that's becoming the home of cults.
Well, it's really Discord, crazy, but or Reddit feeds into Discord. People find Discord channels on Reddit.
4chan was the one that really started it, and 8chan after they shut down.
8chan,
after they shut. The only reason it became 8chan is because they turned off 4chan's protections.
Yeah, we saw that.
Let me ask y'all another question about the psychology and maybe some of the statements that the author and David Fincher and the screenwriters are trying to make. Do you think that there is anything to take away from the argument that this was a slippery slope kind of thing and it was inevitable? Or is this more about the individual and how malleable people are when they are desperate to find purpose in something? So, do you think that if it had just kind of plateaued at the Fight Club before it became something else and got much more sinister, do you think that those men would have gone home to their wives and girlfriends and been better versions of themselves because they were getting all their man out? Or do you know what I mean? Is it a slippery slope or is it inevitable?
You want to get into comedy, it's a bunch of guys who have basically problems and they need support groups. And the best they can come up with is let's get in a basement and beat the shit out of each other.
Well, I think, do you ever watch that?
It's a statement on men's simplicity, if anything, up to a point.
Did you ever watch that SNL sketch? And it's probably in 2021, which is like Man Park, which is like a dog park for men. And it's for all the men that were like in COVID time and they were locked away and they just like would talk at women about Marvel, about just like shit that women didn't care about. And it's like, you need a friend. You need to get out of the house. So they would go to and literally guys would go up and be like, Marvel? And they'd be like, Marvel. And they'd be like, Marvel. And they would just like talk to each other. I feel like in a weird way, this is kind of like that. I think satire is the right word, as fucking real as it feels. It's Chuck Palahnuik. The next book he wrote after this was Choke, which is about a man who went to restaurants and pretended to choke to death so that people would save his life. And then he would befriend them and they felt like their life was that they saved his life. And so they would write him letters and stuff. And then eventually he would ask them for money when it wasn't going well. And they basically paid for his existence. So it's like he basically Tinder swindler them. So the guy, it's not realism, even though it's the higher truth. And I think he even said that Fincher improved upon his book in this case. I think he made it a darker thing, just like everybody fucking does, like Philip fucking Roth did, like 1984 did, like Orwell did. Like I feel
falling down. This falls the same path Falling Down did.
And it just so happens that the chord that it struck is just so unique and yet also so specific and individualized that everybody can relate to it.
And relevant now.
And
really badly relevant.
I don't know if he knew it would be relevant in 30 years, but like I think he got not lucky, but I think some of the stuff you're saying, John, is a little bit of luck in the sense that I think it was more satire. I think what he was writing was more satire, but okay, the best satire hits on the best truths.
See, I feel like it's more absurd because absurdity often has those themes of existential nihilism and anarchy and meaninglessness in society. That you're trying to, and they're on the same coin. Sometimes they can be on the same coin, satire and absurdity. And this one almost feels to me like, it doesn't matter if you're right or I'm right, because it really is, it's still,
there is no
remove all that vocabulary and just make it about emotion when people are responding to this kind of thing. And let's be real, probably more guys like this movie than girls. Probably more guys have seen this movie multiple times than women.
We can make that. I'd put all my money on that if I had a choice.
Yes, for sure. It does seem to be preying on those instinctual things. So I guess I'll just ask you one more time, because I don't feel like either of you answered it straight up. Do you feel like there is something prudent and justified in an observation of the contemporary males that this is making from the opening, which is a man is desperately trying to find some kind of emotional outlet and connection to his world other than something material. He's looking for human connection, and he finds it in something much more physical and violent. Because he also found it with crying through those support groups. So we can't say that he's not available emotionally. He was desperately seeking it, and he found it through something physical. And I guess I'm just curious, do you think there is something maybe justified there that is even more uncomfortable in my mind to say that there might be a part of men that actually does benefit from having a little bit of that or a lot of that physical output, and we're not supposed to have it anymore, versus I think it's an easier argument to say, oh, that was a slippery slope. And the whole point is that if men give themselves that space at all, they're going to turn into monsters and kill their wives and girlfriends and kill each other and destroy the world. So what do you think?
I'm looking at Dave's face right now.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I think. Well, yes, but I'm not going to say that we all need a fight club. But yeah, we're not meant to be working at an office.
Pete in 30 Rock? I feel so alive!
We're talking about centuries, if not millennia of evolution, and then all of a sudden, within 100 years, we sit at desks for a living? Yeah, we're meant to be fucking physical. That doesn't mean we have to punch each other in the face. That doesn't mean we have to abuse wives or anything like that. But yeah, and I'm not saying if there was a fight club, a lot of men would be better off. But you're telling me, we've talked about UFC in the past couple of weeks, you're telling me these motherfuckers don't go to the goddamn bars that I go to and fucking shout at the screens while dudes fucking hit each other, and they all wear the tightest shirts, and they all go to fucking CrossFit and risk like ruining their back for the rest of their life. Yeah, of course. We're fucking animals. What do deer do? What do deer do with horns? They fucking ram into each other, of course. And would it make them better husbands? That's a little ridiculous. And now we're in satire territory. I can't answer that straight up. Does it make it better if we're in a fight club? But I think what they're saying here is that some men would benefit from that. Some people like therapy for emotional reasons. Some people cry. Edward Norton even admits in the movie if he wasn't like desperate, he probably wouldn't work. But a fight club is something that some men, all they need to do is fucking fight, and then they can go about their lives as if it's nothing. They can wink at their friends, and they're good for a week or two. Yeah, for sure. We're animals. We're fucking animals.
Say, I feel like that's one of the most, this time especially, I was so affected by that provocation because this movie is cleanly divided between he was his best self before they turn into terrorists. They all are, right? Like they're functioning with smiles on their face in society before it turns into the mayhem.
You almost wonder... Well, if one good ass kicking, this is my cousin Vinny. I could use a good ass kicking. It's like you almost wonder if just like one fight is good. Like, and how funny. I think there are two of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes specifically is when they're trying to start the fight with a stranger and they're supposed to lose the fight. And these people are just, even if they spray a priest with a hose, even if they hit somebody, the people still run away. They run away from it so bad. And that says a whole nother story too. But it's like sometimes just one confrontation will get you going for a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's
Dave. I didn't mean to cut you off. Dave was about to speak and I cut him off. I feel bad.
I'm going to shut up after this. I'm just going to ask it one other way and then we can move on. Do you think there is a version of him? Because if y'all stand by my argument that there's no real defined mea culpa for him at the end of this, do you think there's a version of him that's like, I kind of want to start another fight club and just not start a terrorist group? Do you think part of him is like, I found the version of myself that got me? Yeah. That went, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jeff says
it's a kind of thing of like when you introduce that chaotic element to something and like he took the chain off, but he couldn't control what he released. It was like The Magician's Apprentice, also like where the old Mickey Mouse cartoon where he creates all the brooms and he can't control them. So he created this thing. Slope. Yeah. He created this thing to get by, but he couldn't control it. I mean, it's a mental illness, but that's a slippery slope. He should have got help, I guess, before then if he knew what was going on, but he didn't.
How about this? Yeah. How about this? If the doctor just prescribed him the sleeping pills, none of this would have happened.
If they worked,
maybe.
Or
Tyler
would have come out while he was asleep.
It is because when he got in the car accident, he slept for like 2 days and then Tyler was gone. So I believe that means it would have worked. Now, of course, in hindsight, you can say, well, no, that's when he did all those flights. I don't think so. I think...
And here's the scarier thing. Again, I'm just trying to... I was saying, like, it's folding, like baking. You're folding batter. It's not like it's all mixed together.
Fold the eggs. That's a
one of the scariest things about what you just said, Dave, is that if we're going with the slippery slope thing and he opened the door to it, the psychosis or whatever word, that's probably not the right word, but the presentation of his mental illness began before he threw a single punch.
It really did.
It began when he was repressed in society, living the way he's supposed to live. Yeah. So I think that is the big provocation too, that you can't ignore.
The funny thing, the first time I watched this movie, I missed those frames as well. Did not even see the frames with Tyler appearing.
But even if you don't fucking see those,
film,
you know that he is on a, and I don't know if this is in the book, but the staging of this is so fucking symbolic. It's almost too literal when you look back on it. Where should we have him meet Tyler? On a business flight.
Yes.
He's literally doing the thing, his Rocket Man thing
coming
for his
home.
Boring ass fucking job, coming home, and who's sitting beside him? So that's the moment where it really starts, right? He has a full conversation with somebody who's not there.
You mentioned the person sitting in the seat in front.
He got he probably rented out the whole the exit row for himself, right? Which is also, again, the symbolism of that, the exit.
Yeah.
Like he's about to take the, it was just, man, there's so much there. There's so much there.
Had some red pill, blue pill shit. I can't believe that this came out the same year as The Matrix.
This is a total red pill movie. Me too. I was thinking the same thing, dude. One that's just so violent. They're both such violent movies. I totally get why Parents then and Columbine happened that year. I totally get why so many people were like, we need to take a second and talk about
Why do you think we were all listening to Rammstein? And
I mean, we are now literally living in a time where there are people who actually believe the Matrix's thesis is real. And there are men who behave like the men in this movie, and it's acceptable in society. They have a place in society now, front and center, with millions and millions of followers on the fucking internet. I mean,
and that's without the drugs
nuts,
that I've been seeing more and more people literally just smoking crack. And I know that was around in the 80s and stuff, but I've been seeing a lot of people literally smoking crack in front of me. Yeah.
Really intense. Anyway, I could not get over the provocations. It's relentless from the opening of the movie. This movie
really
is one gigantic, hilarious provocation. It is so fucking funny. And if it wasn't funny and it was only dark and dramatic, it would be half the movie it is.
It's even funnier on the rewatch once you're in on the gag.
So, Dave, you were laughing?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not surprised I'm doing this. I will say, again, it felt a little long this time. And there were, but this is just how it is. Because like you said, and honestly, like I still have that Pixies song stuck in my head. A Pixie song is stuck in my head.
Me too. Yeah.
So guess what I'm doing, motherfuckers? For the first time, I'm switching my answer.
Jeff has switched his answer.
It's our first Gold Series film.
If I did this last week, I would have said Gold Star. Fuck you guys. Like I feel like this is like one of those like guys that movies that like guys who love movies love. And I actually read Choke because my brother gave it to me. Thank you, Dan. He's not listening this far into the episode, but thank you, Dan. But I read Choke, and it's fun. If you like Fight Club and you want more, go ahead and knock yourself out. Clark Gregg, his directorial debut is the film of Choke, starring Sam Mendes. So you know it's good, but this is better. It's gonna feel. You're gonna sit there and be like, I just want to rewatch Fight Club instead.
Yeah,
even though it's a good movie. Anyway, it's a fantastic movie. So even though it felt long, I think it's fantastic. It's a really brilliant movie.
Let's just talk a little bit about the technical, just because I feel like it's
All right, you guys go ahead.
It's just so incredibly effective and immersive from the jump.
I'm trying to turn the gushes off. How do we turn this shit off, Dave? How do we get rid of this shit?
There you go.
Okay, for our YouTube watchers.
There are obviously some amazing, the opening coming through his brain and stuff. There are things that like are really obvious that way, but I feel like the cinematography is really where it's at for all of his films, and this one is no different. There are plenty of camera movements, so I hope you know what I mean when I say this, but they're so disciplined and restrained that you do feel that every single shot is like entirely controlled, which again, I know that David Fincher does that all the time. So in one way, I'm making the observation and saying like, well, why I think the reason it stands out so hardcore because of this one is because it's so intensely subjective and you don't realize it, but it's so immersive.
Also, this one is cut really well too.
Well, it is. I mean, I think they're all cut well, but I feel like there is something subconscious that's happening to you when you start to pick up, and especially if it's a rewatch, when you're thinking that like he's creating this world, the character. So we're like seeing him how he wants to be seen.
Well, that was the best thing about
moments. Do you know what I mean?
Waiting so long to rewatch this, because I don't know about you, but I forgot about the middle of this.
I forgot about lots of it.
Yeah,
a lot of scenes I forgot about.
Everything was fresh when I watched it. It was fresh, and it was entertaining, and it was scary, and it was everything it was supposed to be.
Talk to me about the look, dude. I feel like his lighting, he does so much incredible overhead lighting. So there's shadows and eyes, and there's this lots of shadows like across skin and faces. And I'm not just talking about when they're beating the hell out of each other in a basement practical kind of setup. That fucking house. So talk to me about the difference between production design and lighting design between the house versus like his office.
I think the office is going to be all overheads. You're going to get a wash from overhead, and it was very motivated light. So it was light coming from where a light source was in the scene. As such, whether like obviously they moved lights around to compensate for that, but because the house was very sparsely lit and it had street lights shining in through the windows and single bulbs everywhere, you're going to get giant shadows on the sides of faces and stuff. So it was very like I found that like the office was just a wash, but the house was very motivated lighting.
I'm trying to remember now, David, not that it has to be this literal in David Fincher's mind, but a lot of those, because they were practical, like single bulb kind of feels and street lights shining in through windows, a lot of it felt kind of hard in the house, right? Which is like, I feel like if in traditional like hard lighting with noir and stuff, you do those kinds of things, or they became almost like DNA of those kinds of movies because it had insowed doubt, basically, and everything you're seeing, everyone you're seeing is somewhat in shadow, somewhat in poor light, or hard light.
I'm wondering, did he not diffuse it as well? So you were just getting hard single point light.
How do you think he was making it? Do you think he was filtering it to get it that temperature? You think he just had a bunch of like 5200 or 3200 like Kinos out there to get it that yellow, like that fucking yellow that was fucking everywhere all over that house?
They might have done that in color. but it could have also been like a cross between. They could have filmed. I'm trying to remember how they did it. I think it's on daylight film, and you use the amber, the CTOs. One of those gives you a really yellowish kind of thing.
How about also? I totally forgot
I forgot our theory.
You're good. No, you're good. I totally forgot about this until it was happening in front of me. What an interesting way to show the sex scene and not reveal that it's him, right?
Yes.
And not to reveal her too much, so it didn't become like this exploitation thing, this terribly man-driven movie, and now we're going to show this woman super naked and stuff. Oh my God, it was so trippy and effective and quick. And then very quick, this is just a perfect example, I think, of the storytelling, why this movie ended up feeling so emotional and subjective and effective. That fucking moment happens, and you're like, what trip did I just go on? Because I'm not with Ed Norton right now. I'm with Tyler, right? I'm in the room and I'm seeing her, and she's clearly fucking him, but it's all like these weird bent still frames and stuff. And then we just cut back into our normal storytelling. We're in Edward Norton's perspective, and the comedy of Brad Pitt and Helena fucking as loud as elephants.
Yes.
Just destroying the house for like a whole montage sequence.
Apparently, because
of them
of
just
Fincher,
fucking...
they had like 3 days worth of just audio for that.
So funny.
They did different kinds of,
So good though, right? I mean, I thought that was so cool that
Apparently
they found a way to,
glove.
yes, there was a sex scene, but it never felt it was nothing gross about that. Nothing exploitive.
And the rubber glove was Brad Pitt's idea.
The rubber glove for...
Remember when he comes out and Edward Norton is like, he comes by and Brad Pitt comes to the door and he's basically wearing like nothing, and then he has a yellow glove on his hand.
Oh, I didn't know he had a glove on. That's funny.
Oh my God, it's an iconic image. Yeah. So if you ever dress up as Brad Pitt from Fight Club, you got to have the yellow glove. Yeah, and apparently he just said that it'd be funny, and then David Fincher said,
and I hope she did it on her own. The way the door comes open and she's like rolling off the back of the bed.
Yeah.
It's just total. Oh man, it's so funny. So funny, so effective. Well, guys, I don't know. I feel like we could talk about this movie forever. Is there anything else that stood out to you, Dave? Because you and I have only seen this twice. Any of those moments that you like totally forgot about that made you laugh really hard, or you thought were just fucking awesome?
I mean, no, I thought the whole fucking movie was awesome. Way better than the first watch when I was much younger. So rewatchability of this is high. And I feel like the fun part now would be to show this to other people for the first time or second time and watch them react.
Can I get y'all's impression on, because it's after the fact. I think in the moment, the storytelling's so strong that you just kind of go with it. But I'm curious what you guys think after the fact it's saying about the character, now that we know that Tyler's him and all that shit. And that the people around him, around Edward Norton, are his followers at this point in the story. First of all, the writing, it was so fucked up, and I loved it so much. When Ed Norton beats the fuck out of Jared Leto, and that voiceover is going, and he said, I wanted to put a bullet hole between the eyes of the pandas who wouldn't fuck to keep their race going, or to keep their species going. And he's just talking, he's just saying things like that and just destroying him. And everyone kind of like loses the thrill, and they start walking close, like it's not so cool anymore. It's not funny. And then he finishes, he walks away, and Brad Pitt says something to him like, the fuck is your problem? He says, I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Yeah.
And what do you think that sequence meant? Why did forget about Tyler Durden, forget about Brad, because he doesn't matter. Why did they all react that way? He wasn't breaking the rules. What do you think it meant?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Because if you get tapped out,
not rule 8.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
I thought one of the rules was don't stop.
Fights will go on as long as they have to.
Well,
as long as they have to.
Yeah, but that's you know what that is? That's the Nuremberg defense.
They were.
So you're saying it's very, very, very clean for you. He broke a rule, and they all were like, "That's not cool."
They know it's not on paper, but he couldn't tap out because he was fucking passed out because you beat the fucking shit out of him.
Everyone else has tapped out. The fight stops.
You knocked him out,
but he's killing this guy almost.
But also it's because it's Brad Pitt, and they all look up to him. So even though later on when they say don't do this thing, Brad Pitt already said like. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, if because they're watching the same person, they are watching the same person. We are seeing Edward Norton, and they are seeing Edward Norton, but like, they're seeing the person who founded Fight Club and who set the rules.
That's what I'm asking. Like, you think it's that clean? Where they're
I think if anybody else broke that, if anybody else did that, they'd be like, "Stop! Come on! What do you think, Tyler?"
Okay.
But
so it's really, really clean. He broke a rule. Okay.
I think he broke. I think if anybody else broke it, they would have stopped. They would have stopped the fight. If anybody else did exactly what they did, they would have stopped the fight. But because it was him and he started this, and they all wanted to be like him, they were like, "What's going on? What's happening?" And so that's why that maybe it's just my interpretation of having seen it a couple times. But also, I think it's the fallibility of this whole principle. Like, again, all of this stuff, it makes total sense, but it's all a house of cards. Yes, they're trying to bring society down, but it's because society's a house of cards. I think that they're trying to show the malleability of man, of principle, of all of this stuff is worthless. It's meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
I also wondered, and this is reading way into it, but I also thought, because I was trying to count in my head when I got to that point, and I started asking myself, like, what was that supposed to be meaning? If it was just a rule, or was it? And I started thinking back, and almost all of the fights that you see Edward Norton in, he loses. And there was a part of me that wondered if part of his like preaching to them, of getting them into this, that you maybe you didn't see, but it was maybe happening off screen, is that the joy of this is not only, or even mostly, delivering the hit, it's taking the hit.
100%.
It's feeling it. And I wondered if they saw him shift in that fight. And it wasn't as much about him breaking the rule at the end of it. It's that he was there to only hurt. He was like remember, he was kind of fucking with them. And then he just went nuts. And it wasn't about taking the hits. It was about only hurt, creating pain. And part of me wondered, I was like, wow, are they that receptive? Are they realizing their leader has shifted philosophy a little bit and now they're scared? I don't know.
Of course, Brad Pitt won fights. So that is Edward Norton winning fights. And Brad Pitt took that fight for the person. But think about the first rule. You have to, not the first rule, but that rule where you have to engage in a fight and lose. It's like, you know how they say like adult lions like pretend to be in more pain when they're young, bite them to encourage their strength, right? It's like I feel like they being submissive is power in this. Same thing with being a dom or something, which I don't know anything about, but it's like, yeah, taking punches makes him more powerful than just trying to win fights.
It got in my head in such a beautiful, infecty way, where I started thinking so much about, there was pain at the beginning of this movie. There was a different kind of pain throughout the rest of the movie, and so much of it is physical. And it did just it just kind of made me wonder, like, what is he saying, and what are we supposed to ultimately take away with how these men respond most positively to pain? Right. I mean, anyway, it's just so evocative.
We got to wrap this
fucking great.
His name was Robert Paulson. Shout out to anti-vaxxer Meatloaf, and shout out to Holt McCallany, who's awesome.
When he saw those guys in the kitchen, when he's traveling, and he saw those guys in the kitchen saying his name was Robert Paulson, and he just like leans over.
Yeah.
So fucking funny, dude. So funny. All right.
Well, go see Fight Club again. Paramount Plus.
Definitely worth a rewatch. Oh my God, worth a rewatch. Holy fuck. This is so scary to watch this now. You must watch this immediately and have a good think about it. Don't do what Jeff did. Don't go turn on a Yankees game. Try to actually think about the movie.
No, I didn't after this one. I did that after one battle after another. But it's because the Yankees
another movie about politics that you should probably have marinated on.
But it's not just about politics, because he wrote it last year. Trump could have not been president this year. And
I know. It's a thinker. All right, that was it. Let's do it.
Is that a Francis McDormand reference there? All right. Dave's going to spin the wheel in a second. What year do you think it is, John? Where are we going to spin next?
I want to go down into the 60s or 50s. So I
know you do. You definitely
65.
We're due. We are due, but that's unfortunately not how odds work. We start from scratch every week. So I'm going to say 2012.
Hey-o.
Oh my God, 2. 0. 1. Get out of here.
Do it.
19. 16. 2016.
All right.
I don't know if we've been here before. Stuff. Another election year. Really great. Okay, cool. So, not like 1999. We've done a lot of... Fuck everybody. So, we're not going to sit here and Google movies. We're going to tell you at the end of this segment what movie we're going to be doing next week so you can get ahead. We told you we'd be doing some new movies, but we're not going to start with John's talking about the highest and lows, because we always start with Dave in this section. So Dave, let's go ahead. What have you been watching?
Well, it's October, so at my wife's urging, We put on a little bit of a horror movie the other day. Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, how was it?
I had a fucking great time watching this thing.
Hey,
it was so much fun. Like it's like new guys taking control of the franchise, obviously, and they've changed some of the rules up a little bit. The opening disaster was awesome and epic.
Always.
The accidents that happen are epic, and I mean epic as in like bags of blood and guts and stuff. So it's gory as fuck. But it's also fun. It's almost like a victory lap for the entire series. So if you like all the earlier ones, you'll see references to everything in this movie, and it makes the eventual like death catching up with them kills even more fun. And I must admit, I have to give credit to this one kid actor at the beginning who is an absolute little fucking shit, and I could not wait for him to die.
So good for him.
So, yeah.
So you were a fan of the original series? Did you watch them all when they came out and everything?
I watched almost all of them, yeah.
So, what's his name? Something Siwa? What's
Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa. So he's like a big dude for you?
I mean, I guess I wasn't really paying attention to directors at that point.
No, actors. There's the ladies.
Oh, the actors, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that says it all.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know who he is.
Any more queued up? What's your next? What are like your go-to Halloween movies that you're definitely going to hit up?
Well, I don't watch horror movies very often because I used to be a little tense about them. But I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll watch Evil Dead Rise finally.
Hey,
because I feel like if I can get through Bloodlines, I can get through this.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
John,
I saw 2 Apple TV Plus movies that came out this past.
Apple could really use some more attention. So yeah, go ahead.
I know, Jesus. I watched Highest to Lowest, Spike Lee's reimagining, whatever you want to use, word you want to use, of High to Low.
I've heard mediocre things.
High and low.
High and Low. Thank you. The Kurosawa movie. I think if you like Spike Lee movies, you're gonna like it. You got fucking Denzel in the fucking lead. He's in like every fucking frame. And anyway, it's totally set in New York City. So if you're in New York City, you might just want to watch it for that too. There's a real fun way that they film it. That happened. Watch that. And then I watched The Lost Bus. That movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the Matthew McConaughey. I'm so excited. Yeah.
I've seen so many effects breakdowns for that.
Sure. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but I worked on a documentary at school about this fire in Paradise and went up there.
Wow,
and this was intense to watch, not just because I had that knowledge or whatever. It's a true story. So there are, is it an absolute A+? I wouldn't go that far. The effects might be a little too much because some of the emotional stuff, you want to just kind of stick with that. But I still didn't ultimately enjoy it. If you have the stomach to go through a very scary thing to watch that actually happened to real people and real children, with a real event that had a lot of terrible consequences in California, you should give it a shot. It is co-written by the guy who wrote Mayor of Easttown and Task and that guy and God damn it, who made all the Bourne movies? And Captain Phillips and what's that director's name, guys?
Not Soderbergh. It's Greengrass.
Paul Greengrass. Thank you. They co-wrote it and Paul Greengrass directed it. Anyway, check it out.
I watched Swiped, which is like I said before. I basically told you everything you need to know about it. So fucking hell.
I'm going to cut you off because let me just get this out real fast and then I'm done. I watched Clute for the first time. Holy fucking shit!
Clute with a K. Yeah.
Oh my God, Donald Sutherland and Jane motherfucking Fonda, Alan Bacula,
Did you win an Oscar for that?
A thriller. It's like a dramatic thriller before thrillers became like too commercially kind of feeling. It's so good. It's on Criterion. I'm sorry, I just had to vomit that out really fast. Oh my God, it was so good. Sorry.
That's exciting.
Dave, you're going to hate it. Gordon Willis shot it and it's dark as fuck. You're going to hate it, dude. You can't see anything in that movie. Turn all the lights off. You can't see shit.
I was right. Jane Fonda won an Oscar for that, for Best Leading Actress in a film.
Yes, she did. Clute. I'm so sorry. You saw Swiped.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's like it's on Hulu, and I don't want to belittle it by being like, well, it's on Hulu, and so you would like it. It's based on reality, and it's a good story. I mean, there was that one period of time where the WeWork movie came out with Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. away, and then the Uber series came out with about Travis TK with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So there's like all these like apps that were founded by young people. So it has that feel to it, but it also and it's not like just about, and I don't mean to put this idea down, but it's not just about like a woman making her own in Silicon Valley at the same time as all of these other apps like Uber and everything, maybe a little bit later, Tinder. No, at the same time, same fucking time. But she obviously was a go-getter, but it turns out to be, it was a pretty toxic workplace. Tinder was actually a part of a bigger network of apps that were all under this umbrella company by the same people, and then she had to leave because it was toxic, and then she started Bumble, and it's just like, it's one of those that's great. It's got great moments, so I feel like it's a good watch at home, and it's on Hulu right now, so I just highly recommend, especially like with your partner, with your spouse, especially if you lived through when dating just moved online. Because I remember that we didn't have that when we were younger, and so all of a sudden it's just I think it's a cool watch, but with a partner. I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking, but there's a lot of really good stuff in it. So again, I don't want to talk down to the movie, but it's definitely very watchable with a partner. That's what I would say. Okay,
cool.
Let's. Oh, and Amanda Knox finished up really well, and I feel like they wrote the final chapter of the book to give her some closure, and they put it into the show, and it was great. I appreciate it. Did you finish it, Dave?
No, not yet.
Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and decide what movie we're doing from 2016, and listen to some Dasein. We'll see you in 10 seconds.
And we're back.
We are back.
All right. John, you want to introduce our movie we're doing? It's on Prime right now.
Sure. It is on Prime. This is James Gray's 2016 feature, The Lost City of Z. Yes.
We're going period piece, people.
Period. Charlie Hunnam, Sienna Miller. Based on a true story. It's gonna be a little bit of a ride, and it is on Amazon Prime. So go check it out, watch it with us, and you can listen to our whole conversation next week.
So incredible. Thanks for joining us this episode. See you next week, film fans.
Peace!